so hitting the scene. Shit tales of Oz and foreigner dreams. Tales are crazy wild as the wind. Laughs and madness could make you spin. Shit tales rolling forward as king. The podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit tales rolling Florida's king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit tales rolling Florida's king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at it now for season 2 of the Shittown Florida Man Power Ranking Podcast. I am NCR News Network, joined as always by friend, co-host, and field marshal extraordinaire, Anthony Caruso.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, NCR, and to everyone listening to us right around the world. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for 2025, just when you thought it was safe to do so.
We have been reading the comments. We have been scouring the subreddits of Florida Man, these shit towns of Australia, to find these stories. And because you guys have been demanding it, we are back.
Absolutely.
Now, this would have been a very longer episode due to the fact that the shit towns of Australia had something special happen this week. They did.
Yes.
What was it, Anthony?
Yeah, well, the shit towns of Australia took a well-earned break over the Christmas period, allowing themselves to have a bit of a rest, but they have definitely come back with a vengeance after enjoying the Australia Day long weekend, and boy howdy, it's been such a break that we've got, it's not 10 that we would normally have from shit towns of Australia, it's 20.
Wow. Now, not to be outdone, but Florida Man has given a run for the money for the shit towns of Australia, but I don't think we could cover 20 stories tonight.
No, I don't think we can. So there will be a couple of honorable mentions from each of us.
Yes.
So, NCR, who are your honorable mentions first off?
My first honorable mention is a Florida woman. A Florida woman breaks into an arena to steal Stanley Cup swag.
Hang on, now I'm assuming at the moment that this is just, one of those regular Stanley Cups that you actually just drink from.
No.
What?
No, not a Stanley Cup, but Stanley Cup swag.
As in
Sir Stanley's Cup, yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
Wow.
A Florida woman stole the ceremonial Stanley Cup from the Panthers arena.
Are you serious?
I am being 100% serious. I am not going to get into full details of the story. I will give us a brief synopsis because this story is fucking insane. But in December, a Florida woman named Jade Rossi Breaker just broke into a room at the the Anthem Bank Arena, stealing the ceremonial Stanley Cup items, and including the ceremonial cup from the Tiffany's box and robes.
Jeez.
She was later arrested January 15th of this year. Now, this took place during the Florida Panthers versus the St. Louis Blues game, where the Panthers won 2-1. The items were returned to the staff, and our Florida woman was charged for stealing the items, caught on CCTV footage, and was sentenced, not sentenced, but has recently been released on a $3,500 bond.
Jeez. Oh, that's special. Is that special?
That's just my first honorable mention. The next one, well, Troy.
I'm Troy McClure, and I'll leave you with what we all came here to see: hardcore nudity.
Oh, didn't take long, did it?
Nope. Florida man with abnormally large testicles arrested for allegedly exposing genitals to a teenager.
Oh, jeez, really?
Oh, this is a bad one, but a Florida man named Mark Buckley, age 62, has been arrested on January 15th for allegedly exposing himself to a minor. Again, I'm not going to go into full details, but a synopsis of this particular Florida man was there was an incident between him and a neighbor where they had provided him with a phone. He was not keeping his end of the arrangement, so they requested the phone back. He was ducking them. So this Florida woman sent her 14-year-old daughter, I should say, to retrieve the phone and provide him with $20. The child knocked on the door, and at that point, Mark Buckley decided to drop his pants and expose his genitals, saying to the 14-year-old to suck his dick. The girl immediately ran back home. It took the mother hours to pry the information out from the girl what happened. When she finally got the information out, she called the police. The girl gave a graphic detail of the man's genitals, leading the cops to go to him, where he said, "How could I have pulled my stuff out? It's impossible." When the police noticed one of his exposed testicles hanging out from the bottom of his shorts.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously. I mean, that's a very early nomination for the wood chipper, really.
I mean, I told you, Florida man had zero fucking chill this past couple weeks.
Oh boy, didn't they? Didn't they ever? Didn't they ever? Well, for the shitdowns of Australia, we do have. Well, I mean, you could say it's 3 honorable mentions, but it's really 2+ in terms of honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is our tried and true, and it would be remiss of us to not mention them in an extended list like this. It is Port Pirie, South Australia, still shit.
Keep up the good work, boys.
Oh, absolutely. Our first honorable mention goes to Hobart. And the reason why we do this one is because of the iconic name connected with this. Hang on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beauty. NCR, do you have a bit of a sweet tooth?
I do. I know I shouldn't with my diabetes, but I occasionally like to have a nice little piece of chocolate every once in a while.
Yeah. You're not going to want to eat chocolate after this story.
Oh, dear Lord.
The story is from Hobart. Poo leaks into river after sugary water from the local Cadbury factory kills sheet-eating bugs in the storage system.
Wait a minute. What?
Yes. People have been warned against swimming at many of Hobart's beaches after industrial waste from the Cadbury factory knocked out a local sewage treatment plant. The do not swim advice applies to the entire River Derwent between Austin's Ferry and Old Beach in the north and Sandy Bay along across to Hoorah in the south. How's that for a suburb name? Hoorah!
Hoorah?
I love it. Now, what happened? This is where it's really gotten quite thick. There was a leakage of contaminant from the local Cadbury chocolate factory. It leaked into the Cameron Bay sewage treatment plant. Now, in that treatment plant, they have bugs designated in the water whose sole job is to eat up the shit in the water. Good use of wildlife. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's, instead of using harsh, heavy chemicals that could degrade the materials, you use the local wildlife that's designed to do it. It makes sense.
One problem. There was too much sugar in the water.
I mean, diabetes is a hell of a thing, man.
Yeah, well, I think these bugs might have got instant diabetes because they died after the amount of sugar that came through. And because of that, the water was left untreated, which, guess what? Resulted in poo floating down the River Derwent.
I just have one thing to say to this, and I think this sums it up well.
That's nasty.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Cleveland. The other honorable mention goes to Geelong. And there are two stories. There's a couple of stories to come out of this. First off, you get your choice of either a Gronk driving to a pub in a stolen car, getting into a fight, climbing on the roof, chucking stuff at the cops, and then deciding to strip naked. And then a Gronkess getting stuck in a Macca's drive-thru after driving in the wrong way while drunk. Now, unfortunately, the first story is behind a paywall, but there is a clear picture of the gentleman on the roof following the standoff. I am happy to report that in the picture, the man is wearing underpants.
Wait a minute. A Gronk finally wore underwear in a mugshot or a picture?
Well, let me put it this way. They managed to get a picture of him in underpants, but I can guarantee you that those underpants came off very quickly, especially considering that he was on a corrugated iron roof in 35-degree heat. Not quite moving around like a cat on a hot tin roof, but not far off.
That is true.
Now, with that in mind, we now get to our top 10. And to kick things off for this year, I have the ceremonial coin.
All right. I'm feeling lucky today, so let's go heads.
Heads is the call. Your wish for luck has been granted. It is a head.
All right.
What a way to start the year for you, NCR.
Let's kick this one off with a trip to Polk County.
Oh, yeah.
Florida man with ankle monitor tells deputies he can't go to jail because he has a curfew.
Oh, this sounds good already.
Okay, so a Florida man who was on probation was arrested for interfering with a first responder in Polk County, which violates the HALO law, or the better known term, the anti-frauditor law.
Wow.
A Winter Haven man who was on probation is behind bars, deputies say, for interfering with a first responder at a search of at a scene of a car crash. This takes place in Winter Haven in Polk County. Approximately at around 9:25 on Tuesday, a 23-year-old man named Sebastian Angel Cherses approached and asked, "Yo, what the fuck happened?" Okay, Tampa Bay 13, keeping it real. The deputies had said stop, and what he was doing turned to Sebastian and explained it was a car crash. Everyone appeared to be doing all right. However, according to Polk County Sheriff's, Sebastian, within a foot of the deputies, argumentatively stepped back. No shit, a car crash. Who the fuck hit who? That last fuck I had myself. The deputies told him to step back so the deputies could work. And would you like to take a guess at what Sebastian said next?
I got to be home because my mummy want me to be home.
No. Sebastian yells out, "Fuck you, I can do what I want." Actually, no, I messed that up. It's "Fuck you, you can't tell me what to do."
So he tried to put his big boy pants on and put them on the wrong way around.
Oh, yes. The deputies explained that they are working and that if he doesn't move, he can be arrested. He explains back that I'm on an ankle monitor. You can't do shit. You can't take me anywhere.
To hell they can't.
Oh, the hell they will. And the hell they did. The deputies arrested him for violating his probation willfully willful child abuse.
Oh no.
He was arrested
no.
and charged for violation of probation, willful child abuse, interfering with a first responder, 2 counts of resisting arrest. He is currently in jail, facing upwards to 60 days.
Is that all?
That is all. However, I think he's learned something.
Really?
Yeah. He learned the consequences of fucking around and finding out.
Hey! Hey, let's do it. We're going to do it together in honor of our guest from last night, the captain. He tried to walk around and find out.
Find out.
Oh, yeah.
Look at our harmony together. We're a little bit rusty.
It is. Too much VB's been consumed over the Christmas break, I think. And speaking of which, make sure you do drink.
Take them.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you do consume your best case of Vaucluse Bitter. Alrighty.
Turn down a free case.
Let's head off to number 10 for the shit towns of Australia, and we're off. Well, NCR, cue up the band because they've come in hot and they've come in early. This particular town.
Do you mean the
city of Townsville is under attack?
Yes, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are off to the city of Townsville. It didn't take them long, did it?
I think they're trying to keep that number 1 title.
I know. This week we've got a bunch of feral teens hitting an elderly woman with a plank in a robbery. But our main story, a teen accused of ramming cops twice in a wild crime spree. Unfortunately, because this teen is under the age of 18, under the Youth Offenders Act, they will not name him, and they have blanked out just about everything to do with him. But a 17-year-old Vincent Boy has been accused of ramming police on 2 separate occasions. He was finally arrested along with a 23-year-old Garbutt man after an alleged crime spree across Townsville. This crime spree included ramming cop cars in a stolen car.
The hell, man.
Yeah, looks like the youth crime problem in Townsville decided not to take a break over the holidays.
Apparently not.
Oh, boy. Who's your number 9?
Number 9 is a bit of a funny one here. But a Florida man gets a DUI on a mobility scooter.
Oh, no way. that takes some doing.
A 54-year-old Florida man was arrested for a DUI on a motorized wheelchair. Ronnie Hicks, age 54, has been arrested for DUI, but not the kind of... We're not kind of hearing this out here. So, in Palm Beach, he was behind the switch of a motorized wheelchair where they received multiple calls of him aggressively blocking people on a nearby pedestrian bridge. The 54-year-old appeared highly intoxicated, and his speech was slurred, and he was acting confused. Well, during his first appearance in front of the state's attorney, in front of the judge, the state's attorney recommended the maximum bond of $5,000 because he alleged that this is Hicks's 3rd DUI in 10 years.
Jesus, really?
But the judge felt the amount was too high for a DUI for a motorized wheelchair. I can't say it would look like at the same principle for a bond when it's a motorized wheelchair rather than an automobile, the judge said. But Hicks spoke and confirmed with medical staff that he needs his motorized wheelchair, and the judge approved the $5,000 bond. Well, it needs a wheelchair, not a motorized wheelchair.
But hang on a second. Isn't it still considered a vehicle as a motorized wheelchair?
Not according to the state. Because in the state of Florida, anything that is gas powered is considered a motor vehicle.
Because it's a motorized wheelchair, it's based off electrical power.
Yeah, it's based off the battery packs. So,
but that would then mean that you have to be careful with that definition because technically then a Tesla would be considered wouldn't fall underneath that. Although I'd imagine that it's then down to the power output, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to Vespas and dirt bikes, you know.
Yeah.
So many cc's require it to be registered, and you have to have a special license.
Jeez. That would have been funny to watch. Someone drunk off their ass on a motorized wheelchair.
I'm just concerned if he's been hanging around Gia.
No, she occupies a golf cart.
Well, think about it. She's got the golf cart. He's got the motorized wheelchair. Power couple.
Yeah, but there's one thing. Yeah, but you have to get approval from one being.
Oh yeah,
you have to get approval from Zoe. Yeah, and we all know how judgmental Zoe is.
Yeah, but you give her a couple of sausages, she's your best friend.
we know how fickle corgis can be sometimes, don't we?
That is true. Who is your number 9?
My number 9, we're off to Kalgoorlie in Western Australia, where a 15-year-old has been charged after allegedly stealing 2 vehicles with kids in them.
Jesus Christ, mate.
I know. Police will allege the 15-year-old stole a white Kia Sorento station sedan from a driveway in West Kalgoorlie at about 3:50 p.m. 2 infants were inside the car at the time. He alleged the accused removed them from the car and left them on the side of the road a few streets over. So at least the kid had the good conscience to realize, oh wait, I've got 2 kids in the back of my car. I'm going to pull over. I'm going to put them on the side of the road, and then drove off.
I mean, he did something somewhat responsible.
I mean, a pretty low bar to set, let's face it.
It is, but
But wait, we're not done.
are you?
He,
Hold on.
He then
Hold on.
But
cracked.
wait!
Yep.
There's more! Hang on to your seat, baby! Cause this one's a screamer!
Oh yeah. He crashed the car and then stole a Kia Sportage from a return it recycling facility in Somerville. And guess what? That
What?
car also had a toddler in the back seat.
Is the universe trying to tell this man to stop stealing cars with babies in it?
Mate, it's just...
I mean,
I don't know what it is with the youth crime issue in some of these towns at the moment.
I swear to God. I mean, he steals one car. There's 2 toddlers in it. Puts the kids on the side of the road. Crashes that car. Steals another car. There's another baby in it, and it's just.
fucking do it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God.
Well, we better move on before I blow a head gasket. Who is your number 8?
Oh, this one's special. Florida man asks police about restraining order and accidentally gets himself arrested.
Well, looking forward to this one.
Okay. Now this is from it's out there, okay? So the headline reads on the actual website, a Florida man wanted his gun back related to a domestic assault accusation, turns himself in over to the police. A man who was allegedly involved in a domestic assault involving a firearm was arrested after unknowingly turning himself into the police station.
That's special.
Oh, it is. It gets better. This 45-year-old Florida man on January 24th had inquired about an existing restraining order from his wife that was issued in November. Instantly, he was arrested when the officers discovered he had a warrant out for that same incident. Records show on November 5th, the victim reported her husband, who had returned to the home, angry, proceeded to peer into the home and headed to the back of the house with a black handgun, cocking it and making threats to her with it. At one point, he allegedly pointed the firearm at her, making claims that if he killed her, no consequences would happen because it would be self-defense. Newsflash, that's not how stand your ground works.
I mean, we all know, that stand your ground is probably the most misunderstood act that is available in Florida. But geez, they get bad with it sometimes.
Oh yeah, Now, the stand your ground law in Florida it's actually quite cut and dry if you understand it without being having your mind baked by meth in the sun. Now, the stand your ground law states that you can defend yourself.
Yes.
However, you can't claim stand your ground unless you make an effort to retreat first. So you just can't go provoke the situation. You literally have to be in a situation where you have no other choice but to defend yourself. For example, let's say you and some emus are walking down the street and a couple of castraries come to your neighborhood looking to start some trouble with Will Smith. I don't know why Will Smith's involved with castraries, but he is. You got to try to retreat first, but if they keep flocking you, then whatever happens to those birds and their feathers is, that's what's going to happen. But I digress. According to the article, the the incident involved the police removing two rifles and a handgun. He is currently separated and going through the process of divorce while he was arrested with his new girlfriend.
Smooth.
He is currently being held in the Brevard County Jail with no bond.
Well, at least the judge dealing with this case has actually done the right thing in terms of revoking his bond and going, you know what, you can stew over this for a while.
Just have a seat there, buddy.
Yeah, just relax there. Alrighty. Number 8 for the shit towns of Australia, and we're off to Moree in New South Wales. And oh my god, seriously, more youth crime. More youth crime. So first off, this is just incredible. I don't know how to explain this. First off, we've got a 14-year-old who's been charged after a string of armed robberies of hotel rooms. Very specific, that one. Very interesting. But the main story is a 12 and a 13-year-old kids charged after elderly couple assaulted during a burglary.
I know they're young, but we need to do something about these kids.
I know. A teenage boy has been charged over an alleged Boxing Day ambush on 3 separate hotels across northern New South Wales. Geez, the 2 of them are actually linked. Oh, no. Police were first called to a hotel room on Amaroo Drive in Moree. Following a report, 3 men with knives had forced their way into a room. The room was occupied by a 63-year-old female and an 83-year-old man, with the former taken to hospital in a serious but stable condition. The teens left the hotel and proceeded to a second one on Mungindi Road, where they became involved in a physical altercation with a 51-year-old man occupying the room. Police then alleged the group then broke into another hotel room at the same location, threatening a 78-year-old man and a 65-year-old accomplice with knives before stealing their car and fleeing the scene. They then went to a third hotel, threatened a 41-year-old man and an 11-year-old son, allegedly taking the keys to their car as well. They crashed that car into a parked car. They eventually found one of them, a 14-year-old boy, at a home in Moree on New Year's Day, with the boy allegedly found in possession of small amounts of cannabis.
Now,
drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. If you do them, you're bad. Because drugs are bad, okay? It's a bad thing to do drugs, so don't be bad by doing drugs.
Okay. So the two thought separate stories when I originally started looking at these are actually one big story.
Jesus Christ.
That demented goofy one is probably appropriate for this as well, given what's going on. Oh, Well, these kids play. Hey, have the kids been playing too much Saints Row?
I would have to assume. I mean, just I mean, I know they're young. I know they're young, and we can't put them through the wood chipper just yet.
We can give them the tour.
I don't think the tour's going to work on these little bastards.
Ooh, wow. They're that far gone, are they?
I mean, think about it. 3 back-to-back robberies, 2 involving elderly people.
Both of them involving cars being stolen as well.
I think we should send them to see Counselor Voorhees.
Possibly. Possibly. Or maybe we should just get Brigadier Reginald onto them.
Brigadier Reginald's boot camp for wayward Gronks.
Yes. Yes. I'll have to hit him up for sponsorship.
We'll talk to him about it.
Oh, we'll definitely will. Number 7.
Number 7 is a funny one. It involves a Florida man, a gun, and a sensitive area. Florida man sits on gun and shoots himself in the penis.
What was he trying to do? Get himself a Darwin Award?
I don't know. But let's take a look here. A Jacksonville man accidentally shot himself in the penis when he sat down on a gun on the driver's seat in his car.
Jeez.
Several television stations have reported on this, that had reported that the Jacksonville sheriffs received a report of a man who said he ran into his girlfriend's house on Friday after his gun discharged. She said the wound was in his groin, taking him to the hospital. He underwent surgery, and the sheriff's offices say that the 38-year-old man has a prior conviction for cocaine possession and may face charges for being a felon in possession of a firearm.
We got another one on cocaine, do we?
Oh, yes.
Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
But that is the article here. All I can assume is, how did you not notice that you were sitting on a gun? I mean, I noticed when I step on a fucking pebble.
I notice when I step on the pieces of Lego left out.
You know, we've all noticed when we stepped in something on the sidewalk that somebody should have picked up.
Yes.
But how do you sit on a gun and not know? I mean, for it to shoot you in the penis, it would. The barrel would have to be pointed up.
How do you then get the trigger pulled when you sit on it?
You know what? Just a theory. It's just a theory. But I'm thinking maybe him and his lady were playing cops and robbers. And they decided, hey, let's spice up the bedroom. That one couple had a hatchet and some rope. Let's use a gun.
Jesus.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
I have so many questions on this, and I'm not gonna ask. I'm just simply not going to ask because there's
We don't have
so
enough
much
answers.
wrong with it. No,
don't have
we'll
enough
never have
answers.
enough answers. No. Better move on then, shall we?
You're up, buddy.
Number 7 for the shit towns of Australia takes us to Mount Gambier in South Australia, where a Gronkess charged after a car and trailer catch fire while fleeing cops. And of course, she was on meth with the kids in the car.
The fuck is wrong with this bitch?
A Mount Gambier woman accused of leading police on a high-speed chase while under the influence of methamphetamine with her children in the car. I don't believe this has been released on bail. The 38-year-old was arrested on the 8th of December when a high-speed pursuit ended after the car and trailer being towed caught fire while two of her children were also in the vehicle. Just before 9 p.m. on Sunday, police attempted to stop a grey Nissan station wagon on Miles Road at Glen Burnie. The driver failed to stop and continued on to Fairbanks Road. A short time later, the vehicle caught fire and eventually stopped on the verge of Fairbanks Road. All occupants escaped without injury, and the woman was arrested and the car was destroyed. The woman was charged with dangerous driving to escape a police pursuit and driving while disqualified. Of course, she was disqualified. She also returned a positive test for methamphetamine and may face a further charge of drug driving pending the analysis of her oral sample. She was granted police bail due to appear in court in January. Wow. So, yep.
I'm at a loss for words here. I just, how the fuck did she get released?
Speeding, evading police, on drugs, with the kids in the back seat, and then tortures the car and trailer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just want to point out, in the same week, in the same town as well, there was a second, like, car and, well, more a truck and trailer fire started when the back of the engine of the truck started turning a light and set the trailer on fire. And then the whole thing went up. The truck driver managed to get out. Do you want to know what was inside the trailer?
Please.
An entire shipment of toilet paper.
Please tell me it wasn't the extra soft.
It was the extra soft.
God.
It was Kleenex. It was the Kleenex extra soft as well.
Oh God, man, that is a sad loss.
That's tragic. There are going to be some very abrasive bums going around for the next week in Mount Gambier.
I think we need to have our toilet set at half mast.
Yes, agreed. Or half lid open. Oh, moving on to number 6.
Okay, now this one is just pure irony at its finest. Florida man DUI suspect crashes into liquor store.
Well, that's efficient.
Bandy, where are you? A Hawthorne man in Hawthorne, Florida, was suspect of driving while under the influence when he crashed his pickup truck into a liquor store on Thursday morning. Excuse me. But the deputies say the location outside of Gainesville, the man's pickup truck smashed into the front of the middle of the store in the front entryway. And I have pictures.
It's always better with pictures.
So let's make this.
Oh, that's
screen
impressive.
Here.
That is impressive. Oh, and you know what?
No.
What a smart guy he is. The trailer's open as well.
Easy access to load up your order.
Yep. Is this the new design of liquor drive-through?
I guess. But back to the story. He cost over $20,000 in damages.
Oh dear.
The driver was identified as John C. Lee, who showed signs of impairment and performed the field sobriety tests poorly. And he is currently in jail.
Oh,
that we needed that laugh.
oh, we did. Did he get what he need though?
No, he did not. Because they did
That's
not
a-
have VB long necks.
Oh dear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? We've done it so often. I think we're going to have a quick break because, given how much they've been going on, we may as well just play it, shall we? Oh, thinking it. Our first sponsor for the year. Yep,
Oh,
I can confirm the check did come through.
With that being said,
You can get it driving. You can get it diving. You can get it snorting a line. A hard-earned thirst needs an ice-cold beer. The best cold beer is Vaucluse Bitter. You can get it while you're doing your hair. You can get it while wrestling a bear. You can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I've got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs an ice-cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vaucluse Bitter.
thank you, boys. We appreciate the check and the cases of beer.
I'm fired up now after that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready. You want to
Who's
go
your
wrestle a
number
bear?
6? Yeah, hey, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah,
do
let's
my hair.
go.
Let's go do my hair.
Number 6, we head off to Wodonga in Victoria. Someone has been accused of cutting off a man's finger in a machete's attack, and you want to guess how old the person was?
Under the age of 18?
Lower.
16.
Lower.
13.
Lower.
10.
11.
Jesus Christ.
Oh boy. Unfortunately, the story is behind a paywall, and obviously, for obvious reasons, I can't reveal everything about him. But an 11-year-old boy was arrested over a suspected machete attack in Wodonga. However, after facing court initially, the prosecution has decided to drop the charges.
I think we can quote the victim to the prosecution here.
Now, well, this
You can kindly go fuck yourself.
Well, this is the difficulty that we've got with this at the moment is that it is being reported that the boy in question, hang on, we think the boy in question has may have learning difficulties, like legitimate learning difficulties,
Okay.
and is completely incapable of understanding right from wrong.
Mm.
Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, if that is true, that is a sad state of affairs in general.
Where was his parents? That's my main question.
I don't know, unfortunately. I don't know. But that is a sad story. We better move on to number 5.
Number 5. Man arrested after fighting parents at elementary school.
At an elementary school.
Yes. Or primary school
Yeah.
for those.
Jeez.
So, an Ocala, Florida man was arrested in Marion County this week after engaging into a fight with parents at a school. Warren Salva, age 68, was arrested for burglary and with assault or battery charges included. According to police, deputies received a call to the Greenwood Elementary School on Midland Road regarding to a fight. When the deputies showed up, a man dropped a child off, walked across the street, nearly getting hit by Salva's vehicle. Salva approached the victim and began to pick a fight with him. He lifted the man. Oh, Jesus Christ. So a lifted pickup truck was involved, which just tells us something. Well, I'm not going to get further into the weeds here, but he is being held without bond, to my knowledge, has a court date coming up, and is facing multiple charges. However, the victim received multiple punches to the chest. Although I will say this, that we did get the most Florida man response. The victim asked Salva, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Salva's response, "Yes," then grabbed the victim and began to punch him while still in the vehicle in the chest multiple times.
This is up there with apparently some archaic law in Florida that requires criminals to inform their victims with 24-hour notice that they're about to commit a crime on them. I'm not actually kidding. That is actual law.
But will this violate that law since he just upped and did it?
Yeah. Didn't give 24 hours notice.
You know, there was an actual defense at one point in Florida where a guy said, because he cut his eyes crossed me, I was obligated to fight him in the parking lot.
You, me, car park. Let's go.
The only thing that came to mind was this.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Who is your number 5, sir?
Number 5, we head off to Melbourne in Victoria. Melbourne got busy. They got busy this week. Oh, indeed. Now, here we go. First off, a drongo gets a rental car bogged on a beach. Well played. A Gronk steals fish from an aquarium by hiding it in his undies. Salty.
Okay.
Not done yet. A cat flies between Australia and New Zealand 3 times after airport workers forget to unload it from the cargo hold.
Well, he wanted to get those miles.
Oh, mate. Qantas frequent flyer miles are very valuable. The Qantas Lounge is one of the greatest places to ever visit in Australia. But our big story was so big it actually got international attention. I mean, real international attention.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here. What we got here?
You want to know how big you want to know how big we're talking about? I think it's, that guy Wyatt from Texas, the defense lawyer. International attention. Derek Wyatt, I think it is. We've got to get him on the show at some point, I reckon.
Oh, we definitely do.
Oh, absolutely. So, what is it? A cruise ship staff dressed in white pointy KKK-shaped masks claim they were upside-down snow cones. Yeah. Cruise staff seemingly dressed up as white supremacist members of the KKK during a Christmas-themed event, horrifying passengers as they marched by the swimming pool. P&O Cruise Australia issued an apology after footage surfaced online of a group of 8 staff walking through the pool deck of the ship wearing their white clean uniforms and pointy hats. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
There's photos.
I do. There is a photo. There it is.
Oh my god! I'm going full screen so I can see. Okay. Okay. Who came up with this idea?
I don't know.
Who?
I don't know. Several crew members, according to the spokesperson, several crew members dressed up as snow cones for a Christmas family event, not understanding how their costumes could be misconstrued. The
Now,
housekeeping crew are from all over the world and never heard of the organization. Oh dear. Yeah, one person did say that they were described as offensive KKK costumes. However, that this particular passenger said she doesn't believe it was intentional. They had been promoting in the ship's newsletter it was going to be a tug of war battle between the crew, and we were there to watch what we thought was going to be an awesome event.
I am sorry, but I don't see snow cone.
I don't see snow cone either.
You know, if it was like they had different colored bottoms, you know, for where the head would be at, you know, maybe red and blue and white, or you know, just red and green, just rainbow colored. I could see it then.
Or
right?
even if they got pants that had waffle designs on it. It was like, oh, you're dressed as ice cream.
Oh, I get it. Tasty treat.
Yeah.
Not. Oh, wow. You're about to start throwing it with a hard ER, aren't you?
Oh, it's just wow. Yeah.
Wow.
4th place.
Okay. 4th place. Troy, I'm going to need you again, buddy.
I'm Troy McClure, and I'll leave you with what we all came here to see. Hardcore nudity!
Oh, it's always a good time whenever Troy makes an appearance.
A Florida man was arrested for masturbating at the Sawgrass Mill urinal. Claims he was itching.
Itching for what? Actually, don't answer that question.
So, a Florida man was arrested for indecent exposure and being caught masturbating at a urinal at the Sawgrass Mill Mall's restroom. On the 21st, officers responded to multiple reports of a man masturbating at one of the urinals.
Jeez.
I'm not even going to take a God-given chance to take a stab at this man's name, but he looks like the fucking Night Stalker.
Ew.
And just so you can see that I'm not making that shit up. He looks like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
That's almost Weird Al Yankovic after a bender.
Well, back to the article where
Could I just break you with that?
a bit, yes. I mean, he looks like a Spanish Weird Al, so
The Latino non-union version.
he's a scab. But he was reported wearing a blue t-shirt, jeans, and black curly hair. Upon arriving, officers noticed him and stood several inches away from the urinal where he was caught in the act of public masturbation in his right hand. He was immediately ordered to stop and put his genitals away by police.
Was he playing My Baloney at that time?
I believe so, or playing with his baloney at this time. He was a he had told the officers he was not masturbating. He had an itch.
Uh-huh.
An itch that required him to make a stroking motion, apparently.
And how big was actually don't answer that.
Reports said, according to the reports, not impressed.
Reminds me of the joke where a cricketer once went off the field with what initially appeared to be a badly swollen foot. But we saw him in the changing rooms later on, and we can confirm it wasn't a badly swollen foot. It looked more like 8 or 9 inches to us.
Oh, wow. But our ununion performer here was arrested for indecent exposure and was transported to the Brevard County Jail, where he was released on a $1,000 bond.
And hopefully he's been put in a chastity belt as well in the meantime.
Well, one can only hope.
Indeed.
Who is your number 4, sir?
Number 4, we head off to Perth in WA, and it's a follow-up from a story that we had last year. Now, you might remember that there was a story of a woman who was about to get caught with a bag of methamphetamines and tried to hide it by shoving it into the rectum of her dachshund.
Yes, I remember that bitch. Yes.
Well, the court case is now concluded. She's been given a community-based order for the act. So she was given a 2-year good behavior bond, a fine, and 200 hours of community service.
The real question is she allowed to own another animal?
Not if the RSPCA have anything to do with it. And just for that,
good job, boys.
And just for that, we're going to set Zoe after her.
You know what? No. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this fair. I will call Woody, and I will get a wood chipper and a crane. And we will let Zoe operate the crane. If she pushes her little paw on the button to to open the claw, and she happens to fall in, that's Zoe's problem, not ours.
You know who would actually be really interested in joining in on that as well? The paper Roddy.
I think we could get the paper Roddy to do the last rites.
Yes, the paper. So Pope Phil, we may require the paper Roddy to deliver the last rites. Oh, good riddance to bad rubbish on that one. Time for the podium. Who got bronze?
Bronze, this was a tough one for my top 3. But number 3, our bronze medalist for Florida Man. Florida Man in Dalmatian onesie faces 13 charges after fleeing troopers with one handcuff on.
Right.
Okay. So, a Florida man dressed up in a Dalmatian onesie caught 13 charges. Okay. So, Donald or Delane, Delane, oh my God. I wonder if he's ready. related to my producer. Keith Doxson fled Florida Highway Patrol, dumping out a passenger, making a U-turn, continuing to flee. He then crashed into a tree, took the troopers onto a foot chase. When the troopers tased him, they placed one handcuff on him. He began to struggle and fight, getting tased again for a second time. He then fled from the troopers into the woodline. Canines arrived. They swept backyards and nearby wooded areas, but they could not find him. His girlfriend, a 31-year-old woman by the name of Megan Elizabeth Hamilton, told officers she didn't want them in her home because why? She had drugs inside and didn't want to go to jail.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, they found him wearing a Dalmatian onesie on the porch where they found unknown white pills suspected and a substance that also turned out to be meth as well.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So here's what he's currently facing charges for. These are the charges. Escaping, reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident involving property damage, battery on an officer, assault on an officer, resisting without violence, depriving an officer of equipment, possession of drug equipment, petty larceny, possession of a new legend drug, and possession of methamphetamine. Hamilton was also charged with resisting without violence, and both couples were taken to the Pasco Detention Center. But you know what?
Go on.
I'm doing it. He needs the cone of shame because he's been a naughty dog. Somebody get the cone of shame for him.
My God.
Let me zoom in here. Bad boy.
Just leave him to the side. Leave him to the side because I think someone wants to say something about him.
Okay.
That boy ain't right.
Oh, Mr. Hill.
Yep. Oh, God. Time for the bronze medal. And I'm happy to say my hometown of Sydney gets on the podium. New South Wales. Oh, here we go. First off, this is one of the more disgusting ones I've seen. Multiple stories with this. First off, a childcare centre has been torched and schools vandalised in repeated anti-Semitic attacks. And this has been a trend that's been going on for a while. There is actually quite a big Jewish community in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, and they've been regularly the target of anti-Semitic attacks. It is disgraceful, whoever you are. Go hang your heads in shame as far as I'm concerned there. There was a supposed dead body found in a park, which turned out to be a discarded blow-up doll. But our main story, a paraplegic has been caught with cocaine in his undies after fleeing cops with kids in the car.
Oh my God.
A suspected New Year's Eve drug run came unstuck after a Mercedes four-wheel drive ran out of petrol in the middle of the street in Sydney's inner west. Two men remained in the car while two others had walked to the service station to fill a jerry can with petrol. One of the passengers in the car, paraplegic man, appeared to be affected by drugs. After returning with fuel, the 18-year-old driver offered to move the car off the roadway. However, the driver then allegedly began speeding through traffic and ran a red light. The Mercedes reached speeds of up to 120 kilometers an hour as the police began pursuit. The four-wheel drive then crashed into a car stopped at a traffic light on Railway Road and then allegedly ran the red light. 3 children were among those in the car uninjured. The disabled passenger was found to have no less than 8 clear resealable Ziploc bags in his underwear containing cocaine along with a sum of cash in his backpack. The driver is alleged to have returned a positive drug test to cocaine and was also found to be a learner driver who was refused his license due to demerit points.
Why didn't he call our friend? He could have got a sweet deal on some demerits.
Oh, Pastor Demerits could have helped a brother out in that regards there. Now, I've got a photo of the Mercedes. And I've got to say, that is not a bad car if you're going to be doing a drug run in terms of ramming your way through traffic.
Oh, no, it's perfect for it. I mean, think about it. It's got the right height, the right length. Perfect design for almost got the perfect design for a cattle, for a cattle guard.
Good girth on it as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That thing will ram into anything.
Mercedes, give us a car. We'll plug the shit out of it.
Oh mate. Imagine if we got sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. That would be amazing. Oh, imagine what we could do with that budget.
There's a Mercedes dealership in my town right now.
Who has won the silver medal for Florida Man?
Oh, this one's a doozy. A Florida man is sentenced to decades in prison for using Discord to find victims in Arizona.
Oh dear.
This is a much more of a sensitive one, so I'm not going to give full details or reveal a lot, but a Florida man was using Fortnite and Discord to message kids, and he will be spending decades in an Arizona prison for trying to perform relations on an 11-year-old.
Jeez.
A 24-year-old Florida man by the name of Jacob Lazino was sentenced this week in the Maricopa County Superior Courts after pleading guilty to 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor and 3 counts of attempting to commit aggravated lewdness on a minor.
Jeez.
He was arrested last year after a parent in Scottsdale discovered explicit images and messages sent to her 11-year-old son. The messages had been sent from a man in Florida, where the boy was planning to meet him while playing Fortnite.
Oh, really? Jeez. The wood chipper needs to be pulled out on this. There's a few of them up for it.
Zoe, can you operate the wood chipper and be a good doggy?
Zoe's getting excited. Oh.
I'm not going to read any further because it gets darker.
Don't.
But parents, please talk to your kids. Grandparents, talk to your grandchildren. Let them know if somebody is trying this or asking for images to call us or call the nearest biker gang and let them deal with the problem.
Given what's been happening recently, I don't think biker gangs is probably the best thing to be suggesting right now. Just saying, NCR.
True.
We did have to pull.
True.
We did have to pull one sponsorship, unfortunately.
Yes. We will not
Yeah.
get into that, but
No,
we did.
No.
We did. We will just say this: we ended a contract with them. Yeah. We wish
Yeah.
them the best in their life and future, but we cannot partner with them anymore.
we cannot partner with them. Absolutely. The silver medal for Shit Towns of Australia goes to Burnie in Tasmania, where a Gronk has appeared in court by video link while taking a shit. I thought we got over this after COVID. Oh,
I mean, I've seen a lot of things on court cam of people in Zoom calls, like the guy in the Amber Heard trial smoking and vaping. One dude showing up stoned to his drug revocation sentence.
what about the lady who, when she was asked to identify herself to the court, she answered with "D's nuts."
Oh,
No!
And who could forget the classic Judge Middleton when he spoke to a man by the name of Nathaniel, who appeared on Zoom as Buttfucker 3000.
I was just about to say that. Oh, actually, there was one other one as well. That was Zoom calling a Supreme Court case, and one of the judges accidentally forgot to turn off his lapel mic and was actually recorded taking a leak in the toilets of the Supreme Court in between cases.
So that was a judicial piss?
Yes.
The real question is, does that appear in the briefing?
No, but it may or may not have been on the record.
Please continue.
Now, unfortunately, the story is behind a paywall, but we can confirm that a Northwest man accused of evading police down in Burnie in Tasmania, also speeding and also being on the road without a license, appeared in court from his toilet while hanging a deuce. I am not going to share photos of this. I do not want to share photos of this, and thankfully there are none of it. But what a way to flush your life down the gurgler.
Oh, yeah.
Who's taken gold?
My number one is going to infuriate everybody, including myself, including you. So if you have anything valuable you don't want to smash, please get it out of your way for the next 5 seconds. We good? We're good. Okay.
We're good.
Florida man and career sex offender arrested and charged with kidnapping a 24-year-old woman with intellectual disabilities.
Jesus. Zoe, we need you.
A 71-year-old man who is a career sex offender kidnapped a 24-year-old woman with intellectual disabilities Friday afternoon. The reports say that he approached her, leaving her home in his SUV. He abducted her when the victim was on the way to a doctor's appointment. Now, he did intend to force himself upon this woman. The article does not say if he did commit the act, but based on these charges, because he was charged with sexual battery, kidnapping, attempted murder, and other charges against children, I say we don't even bother. We just wood chipper, burn the pyre, and throw everything in a fucking volcano.
I don't even think we need to. I don't think we need to go any further in terms of looking for the golden turd. I think we just found it.
Oh yeah, sir. I hope you receive the justice that the inmates can dish out better than us.
I think we may have found the goldest, an early nomination for the goldest of turds after that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel sick after that. Maybe, just maybe, I can entertain you a little bit.
I need a smile.
The winner of Shit Towns of Australia for week 1 of reporting for 2025 is Adelaide in South Australia. First off, we've got a grub couple charged for allegedly faking kids' cancers to get donations.
Ah, the chili method.
Yeah, absolutely. A driver fleeing as 20 ferals brawl on a bus. A Gronk stealing a cop car and driving off with sirens blaring. That's someone trying to play Grand Theft Auto in real life. Now, I don't have the full story on this one because unfortunately there is no news article for it, but I do have a photo to share of a naked Gronk rescued from the top of a fountain. He got himself stuck, drunken escapades, having a swim in a fountain, climbed to the top, and then got himself stuck. They managed to get him down, and, well, ladies and gentlemen, I do have a relatively clean photo of the man in question. There he is.
I swear it's just because it's cold.
At this time of year, I don't think you can claim shrinkage.
I mean, look at him. He's got the face like, I swear it's usually bigger. It's just because it's cold out.
And the lady up here is clearly not impressed.
Uh-huh. So when you said 10 centimeters, you really meant 1.
Nah. I think you put the decimal point in the wrong place. Oh dear, oh dear. That is, unfortunately, this next one will make your blood boil just a fraction because our feature story is 16 neo-Nazis arrested after gathering at a war memorial to protest about their tiny little penises.
These guys are back again?
I know.
We get it. We get it. You guys have tiny dicks.
On Australia Day, a group of 16 males believed to be part of the National Socialist Network were arrested by police following a march through Adelaide's CBD. The march resulted in the city's Survival Day rally being delayed to ensure the groups did not cross paths. Most of those arrested were from interstate, excluding a 25-year-old man from Brompton who was charged with failing to cease loitering. A 16-year-old from Victoria who was charged to cease loitering. And a 25-year-old man from WA was also charged with using a Nazi symbol and possessing an article in disguise. The other 13 men were charged with various charges, including failing to cease loiter and assaulting police.
Oh, of course they were.
This same bloody group has been marching around the last 6 months, decide that they're going to protest their tiny little dicks in the middle of Adelaide on Australia Day.
We're here.
Trust me,
we're tiny. We're not used to
it. Trust us, we're all pointing and laughing at you.
I mean, you boys, if you're trying to get nominated for the awards this year, I just have to say, step your game. Be a little more festive with your outfits. Come up with a chant about your tiny penises. Do something to catch the attention of the judges.
Yeah. In terms of the MVP for this week, who's your nomination?
I'm gonna have to give it to the homie who got 13 charges in the Dalmatian onesie.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You want to know my nomination? My nomination for MVP goes to this week.
Who?
The cat from Melbourne.
That's true. He was stacking them points.
He was stacking them frequent flyer points. That's good hustle there.
And I think we can both agree the golden turd for the week is the 71-year-old.
And I think I'm safe in saying that is a very early nomination for the goldest of turds.
Oh, yeah. You're still young.
Oh.
Just got back, but starting off strong.
Yeah, coming in strong indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we've got for episode 1 of 2025 for the Shit Towns Florida Man podcast. How good is it we're back now, NCR?
Oh my God, it is awesome to be back. You guys wanted this. I've been getting comments, emails. When are we coming back? When are you guys doing this? We're back for the year. You've got us. We're not going anywhere.
I'm so excited. And especially after the episode we just did with the captain, I'm a little bit turned on right now.
I am as well. So
just a bit.
Look for new sponsors this year, some returning ones, some new ones, and some spicy.
We got a new one. We got a new spicy one coming up very soon.
Oh, you guys are gonna love it.
Yep.
On that,
we do have to know before we do, we do have to give credit to the captain on that, who was very helpful with that, given his past experience in one of his jobs. He's got something a little bit spicy for us for a new sponsor.
Oh,
indeed. The only clue I'm going to give for this is moist.
Oh, well, on that note, I am NCR News Network.
I'm Anthony Carizzo.
Be well, be safe, and we will see you guys next time.